Probably should have cleaned my glasses. My glasses are a little dirty. Oops, that thing is on. Whoops. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Team, are you ready? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Rita Callistra, and I am an Associate Professor of Strategic Communications in the WVU Reed College of Media. I'm also the founder, director, and principal investigator for a wonderful organization, or as we say, agency now, called Brand Journey. It's WVU's community branding initiative. Brand Journey functions as a full-service strategic communications agency that provides everything from relationship building, extensive research, creative strategy, design, public and media relations, event planning and execution, traditional, digital, mobile, advertising, creation, planning and execution, social media strategy and implementation, web design, promotional products, vendor services, data analytics, and well, pretty much just about everything. I'd like to welcome friends, colleagues, parents, administrators, funders, and guests to the final presentation for Brand Journey's Year 1 project with our latest grant from the American Electric Power Foundation. I'd especially like to welcome the following people, so please give me a wave here when I welcome you. Dean Marianne Reed, Associate Dean Diana Martinelli, my direct contact for the generous grant, who is Communications Director for Appalachian Power, Jerry Matheny, Gil and Susie Meyer. They donated additional unsolicited funding to Brand Journey because they saw value in our boots-on-the-ground approach and how it impacts communities. Brand Journey Capstone students, past and present, raise your hand. Also, future Brand Journey students, raise your hands. We got 3 here in attendance. Brand storytelling students. Brand Journey parents and guests. All right. We also have Brand Journey's account coordinator, Carly Smith. She started with us actually a student in the fall for the Capstone. She graduated and wanted to continue her brand journey, so she stayed on with us, and she has been an integral part of the success of this spring semester. Graduate assistant Rachel Teeter, right there. She's worked hard with Brand Journey during this first year project, and we appreciate her very much. My colleague, Professor David Smith, who leads the collaborative brand storytelling class. And last but certainly not least, members from our Pineville Branding Committee, Mayor Mike Kodak, Christy Laxton, who's also the Executive Director for the Wyoming County Economic Development Authority. Where is Bugs here? I didn't see him. Bugs floats in and out, so he may show up. He's very supportive. Rachel Cook, who is a Pineville community member who has participated in our efforts from the beginning. She was right there from the community kickoff, and we appreciate it so much. These are the types of community champions that every town needs. Without their time and support, this project would not have been possible. But before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about our organization and its start. In January 2015, the Reed College of Media was awarded a grant from the Benedum Foundation to launch a project aimed at revitalizing West Virginia communities through integrated branding efforts and creative strategy. That's okay, I'm used to it. I've got 4 kids. Our pilot projects were Matewan, Grafton, and Whitesville. And we have Gia Pressgrove here, who led the Whitesville project. So thanks, Gia. And we created research-based integrated branding campaigns that were unique to each place. I knew that this initiative needed its own brand. So it was then that Brand Journey was born. We had success with our efforts in these communities, but I knew that we could do even better. We needed more time to spend in these communities, to build relationships, to improve the quality of our research and creative work, more funding and resources to travel, and to add a brand storytelling team to the mix to show what we were doing. One foundation saw value in this type of work and the impact it can make on West Virginia and its people. In early 2018, the American Electric Power Foundation awarded a $250,000 grant to sustain and extend Brand Journey. This time around, we had a targeted application process to choose the right type of community. Our year one community is beautiful Pineville, West Virginia, and Wyoming County, and I have no doubt that after today, you'll want to go visit too. It's about 3.5 hours away from Morgantown, and that's one way. So these students committed to travel and to spend the time it takes in the community to make this work. With this grant, we were also allowed, we had more funding to help raise the quality and impact of our work. We had more time to work with the communities, this time 2 semesters in each place, and the resources to create an important collaborative brand storytelling class that my colleague David Smith leads. And these students do excellent work. David is completely committed to this project. He was on the journalism side before, but there is no side with us. I brought David on because he's a great colleague. He's a good friend. I see how hard he works. He is an award-winning multimedia guru, I should say. And most importantly, he's committed to this type of work, and that's really what you need. If you don't have the passion for it, you can't do it. So David, would you like to say a few brief words before we begin?
So when Rita called me last spring and asked me to lead the brand storytelling team, I was pretty excited because I'd seen what Brand Journey did before with Whitesville and Grafton and Mayone. And I also knew that this was going to be an opportunity for us to not just do like brand storytelling, but do community storytelling, which is where I got my start in journalism, which is what we've done. I mean, you can see we've produced ads and a lot of our students back there. Rob, Jeff have been from the beginning. And anyway, so we've produced ads, obviously, but we've also told stories about people in the community. And we've been welcomed by the community, and that was the best surprise. I mean, they welcomed us with open arms, and we've been down there, countless times, and every time it's like, just very welcoming. So, yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to, obviously, the AEP Foundation for helping fund this class specifically, too. It's been a great opportunity for the students to work in the community and get firsthand experience. And obviously, thanks to everyone from Pineville for being welcoming to us, and also to the college for the support from the administration and our colleagues. Anyway, and I'm excited about kind of bittersweet, I mean, we're not finishing up with Pineville, but we're going to be continuing this project, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. But anyway, thanks.
Okay, so this is the Capstone presentation. It's a part of their Capstone experience, and they are required to give a presentation. And we kind of I go a little bit extra with stuff. So we have all this for you today. But I do want to tell you about these students that they have to go through an application process to get into the class, because we have to make sure that they know what to expect, that they have to travel, they have to be committed, they have to be passionate about the work. You cannot come in with any, misconceptions about what West Virginia is, or, or that you know everything either. Also, they have to be committed. And to say that they are committed would be the understatement of the century. These students and we work together as a team. This is not the regular classroom experience. I told them that from day one, and I think they know that. I think they learned that pretty quickly, actually, especially after the brand launch. I thought things would slow down, but we went actually harder after that. So you're going to see some of their work today. The brand storytelling team, they have played a crucial role, and you're going to get to see some of their work here today as well. And it's been on social media. It has record-breaking engagement on social media, which you'll learn about. We've worked tirelessly and gotten kicked out of multiple coffee shops and libraries over the course of 2 semesters. They've gotten phone calls, Slack messages, "Are you in a ditch? Call me right now. We need to get this done at like 7 a.m. So we've worked hard. So what we're going to present about today, my team's going to present about today, is the phase 2 of our branding campaign with Pineville. In the fall, we had a separate presentation, and that was with our fall Capstone team, and we have Danielle Kutrovac here from the fall team. Right there she is. And the fall semester, that's when we started it off. That's when we kicked it off. So the presentation was about building relationships, the research. We did extensive research with the target audiences. We did 3 surveys. We did 3 creative workshops. We did surveys of target audiences. We did community roundtables that were just awesome. And so we used all of this to build a brand barometer and to do all of these things to help drive this campaign. We also did phase 1 of our planning. And so that was already discussed during the fall presentation. So today we're going to start with phase 2. So that's from now through May. And they'll also touch on what they have in store for phase 3, which was what Pineville does for itself in the future. And I do want to tell you this too, the students, this is the campaign book. This is not just all they do. We've worked together between the fall and spring to do a campaign book that is 481 pages with the appendix, and we have to get it printed in 2 books, which is basically everything that we've done and the plan for Pineville, what we've done so far, and what Pineville can continue to do in the future for sustainability. Okay, so where we are now is phase 2. Before we begin the presentation, I would ask that you please silence your cell phones. Please refrain from talking so as not to distract the students too much, although we did a little exercise for that to make sure they wouldn't get distracted. And please, if you can, hold all questions to the end, and they will be able to answer literally anything that you ask them, because that's how well they know this. Sam, do you want to come up here, or do you want me to go ahead and start the video first? Okay. I have a little bit video here. It's not a little video. I forgot to say too, David and I and Carly presented at the Appalachian Studies Association conference about brand journey and our work to a packed room. People were so interested in our work and how they could work with us. They were just, people started emailing us right away of how they could work with us. David and I also presented in Las Vegas on a panel about Brand Journey's work. People were very interested there as well. So it has a regional and national impact. So this is a brief video that kind of tells what makes Brand Journey different, and it'll feature some of the community members as well. Community branding is so important to communities in Appalachia because it allows them to take control of their own stories. Oftentimes, there are misconceptions about West Virginia and Appalachia that are simply not true. Creating a brand identity allows a community to come together to tell the world what they're really about. A formal brand can give a community a cohesive identity that is authentic to their place and to their people. These projects are important, especially for small towns, because they oftentimes don't have the resources, whether it be money or people or the expertise levels, to take on a project like this. So the opportunity to partner with communities allows us to help give back to these communities while also giving the students a great learning experience.
I just don't think that the communities think about branding a community. You think about branding a business and having a logo for your business and marketing your business, but you don't think about a brand for your community. And so I think that having this opportunity has brought a lot of new energy and something that Pineville wouldn't have been able to do on their own.
They're coming down from Morgantown and their students coming and they're excited about our town. It makes the locals stand back and go, gosh, maybe we should be excited.
As soon as the process starts, we establish a local community branding committee. They have a vested interest in their community. They have to work closely with us to help us gather information, to get the community engaged and involved. And in the longer term, these are the folks who serve as our brand ambassadors. They really help give it some long-term brand sustainability.
The process has been amazing. Whenever we first started, it was just, they were on top of meetings. They never let us lose track of what was going on. And then whenever we see the final product, I mean, it was just absolutely above any expectations that we ever could have imagined.
Although we work in these communities for nearly a year, we don't want our involvement to be the end of the campaign. Instead, this is only the beginning.
When people come here and they love it here and they say, I love your town, that's good for everyone around here, because then you go, oh yeah, they love it here. It is fun. It is a good place to live.
You know, 5-10 years down the road, I think we're going to look back on this campaign and this initiative, and we're going to see it as being a turning point in the history of our community. And I really do believe that.
Okay, so just as a quick overview before we get into phase 2, I just want to review the current situation when we first met Pineville and just talk about what we identified. So they were lacking a brand identity, and this was hindering their brand awareness and brand recognition. So through our research, we identified that they were a product of Southern hospitality and adventure, and we also realized they had an untapped tourism potential, and this had to do with the Pinnacle Creek Trailhead as well as the Guyandotte River. So with that information, we developed the following goal. We wanted to create an integrated branding plan that will increase brand awareness of Pineville and position the town as a tourist destination for nature lovers and outdoor adventures. So with that in mind, we developed a 3-phase plan, 26 total objectives. So now we're going to transition into phase 2, but before we do that, I just want to give the opportunity for all of us to introduce ourselves, as this was the spring 2019 team. So my name is Samantha Stockstill, and I am the brand manager and chief strategist.
My name is Madison English. I'm the creative director.
My name is Grayson Baker, and I'm the PR and Community Relations Director.
My name is Rob Simmons. I'm the digital media manager.
Shona Capella, Advertising Director.
My name is Candace Archer. I'm the social media assistant.
Okay, so with phase 2, our primary goal was to launch the brand that we created and the implementation of the brand. So one of the first things we needed to do to make that happen was to launch the brand to the community and really give them the opportunity to interact with the brand. To do this, we held a brand launch event. So leading up to the event, we knew that that event promotion was really important. So we did a lot of social media promotion, and this included putting the flyer up on social media teasers, like you'll see here on the right, and it had interactive content, so asking community members to engage with what we were saying, like, will you be able to attend the event? Here's a countdown for when it's going to happen. In addition to social media promotion, we also did in-person promotion, so anyone who wasn't connected to us on our social platforms, they were still going to be informed about this event. So on the day of the event, we wanted to really give the community members and Pineville area residents, local business owners, the opportunity to learn about what we have done, but also interact with it and see how it was going to fit into their life and how it was going to be integrated. So we gave a brief presentation to start out, and we showed the following video, and this was produced by Jenna Capella and Professor Smith.
Brand Journey is an AEP Foundation-funded community branding initiative through the WVU Reed College of Media. This fall, Brand Journey has been working with the town of Pineville to create a cohesive community branding campaign to help boost tourism and economic development opportunities. The process was collaborative, and we worked closely with a community advisory board made up of town residents and community leaders. The Brand Journey process always starts with research. Our team spent weeks learning about Pineville, its history, its assets, and what makes it unique. We also met with community members who told us what they love about Pineville, as well as suggestions for improvement. We also started talking about which words, colors, and imagery best represent the town. But we didn't just rely on this information. We wanted to hear from others who didn't attend the meetings. To do this, we created surveys and sent them out to Pineville and Wyoming County residents, as well as another target audience, visitors and ATV riders from both within and outside the area. We wanted to hear their impressions of Pineville, and we wanted to find out how we should reach out to others like them to increase tourism to the area. With all of this information, we created a brand that Pineville can be proud of. The Pineville logo embraces Pineville's small-town charm, history, and natural beauty. Major landmarks like Castle Rock, the Wyoming County Courthouse, and local businesses and churches are represented, as well as the Guyandotte River. This logo style was chosen by residents, and so were the colors. Our research shows that they also appeal to our target audiences. Pineville green represents the natural beauty of the area, and the word pine in the town name. Maroon represents the strength of the town and also resonates with the community because of the school colors. The new slogan, All Trails Lead to Home, touches on 3 important themes uncovered in the research: Pineville's warmth and small town charm, the hiking and water trails, and, of course, the trails of the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System, which bring thousands of visitors to Pineville each year. The photography and video capture the friendliness, natural beauty, and adventure that visitors can expect when they visit Pineville and Wyoming County. These visuals are points of pride for area residents because they capture the authentic beauty of the place that they call home. You'll soon start seeing ads and promotional products for Pineville to encourage people to visit and to solidify Pineville's new brand image. A new website will be launched later this spring so visitors and community members alike can learn about what's happening here in Pineville. We will incorporate the new brand image and social media strategy into the town's Facebook and Twitter pages. And we'll launch a new Instagram account to show people far and wide just how beautiful and fun this place is. We also have a few other surprises in store to help boost visitation as well as community pride. But this is only the beginning. With this campaign, Pineville will have a plan for the future and a strong brand identity for years to come.
And what these numbers mean is that all of these respondents either responded with a like it or love it to all 3 categories. And this is really positive feedback, but it's important to note that this wasn't just shown through these surveys. We also received a ton of positive feedback through our digital brand launch. So here you can see different comments from community members, likes on our new profile picture. Here, 162 reactions, all being likes, wows, or loves. And then also some additional comments just pointing out that they love the video. It really represents the town and the pride it has to offer. And the last way that we kind of tried to understand people's initial reactions was through a brand journey recap video, which I'm going to show now, or a brand launch recap video. And this was produced by Nick Morin.
This has been a 7-month-long journey with WVU, and we are here tonight to have the brand launch of the brand for Pineville, and we're excited to have the community here, and we can't wait to see what they have to say about it.
We need all the help we can get, getting people to come in and see what we offer. About like Mayberry, one of the friendliest towns.
There's always been a pride associated with the people that live here. And I've been a Pinevillian all my life. So I've always been proud of what I called home. And I think this really showcases home.
It highlights the good parts of Pineville, and it should draw some tourists down here. communities like to have pride, and I think our community has pride, and this will help boost that.
It's important to get the community behind it and to really show off what we have to offer, so it's just fantastic.
It really shows our community, and it's nice to see different pictures of people that we know and what we're about.
It made Pineville look like a place you want to go pay some money to go see. Being here, though, you don't think about it until you see it, and you say, that's us right there, and we didn't even realize it.
So now that we've highlighted the brand launch and how we had this opportunity for community members to learn about the brand and interact with it, we're going to switch over into some more community engagement efforts.
So the next objective was engaging with the community by attending and hosting events. And as you just saw, we hosted the brand launch event, and we also attended many events in the community. Now keep in mind, this is only for phase 2. Phase 1, there was a lot of attended and hosted events, but for this presentation, we will just go through the recent ones from January until now. So the first strategy was engaging with Pineville residents, businesses, and organizations by hosting events. So the first event was the brand launch, which as Sam just mentioned in the video you saw. The second event was implemented by the brand storytelling team, and it was a share your story event. So essentially, residents in Pineville could go to one of 2 locations and talk about their experiences. And it was recorded, and you will see more of this later in the presentation, but each person got a portrait and they got a audiogram, which is their recording. In addition to hosting events, we also attended many events. So spring is a lot of basketball. So a lot of our members went to basketball games, Wyoming East, West Side games, and we kind of gave out brand launch cards because we went before the event, and we tried to recruit people to come to the event as well as tell them what we're doing and why we're in Pineville and try and get them involved in the community. So with that being said, the next video you will see, it encapsulates the Wyoming East and West Side rivalry game, and this was produced by Colin Spangler.
It's a basketball county, and we've been playing since we could play. And when we come together, I feel like it's something special. And that's why you see so many people here. We're all pretty excited, and that's an understatement.
It's something we're very proud of. But these 2 schools and the basketball legacies that they represent, not only through Wyoming East and West Side, but through Oceana and Baileysville and Pineville and Mullins. That is pride that comes out in these folks.
And we've been in school for 20-ish years. If you go outside, you're going to see all the championships. So when people see Wyoming East, they know they got to be ready.
We welcome you tonight to the best rivalry in the state of West Virginia, as the West Side Renegades have made the trip from Clear Fork this evening to take on the Wyoming East Warriors.
The gyms are packed. It don't matter what the records are for either team. You've got to experience at least once.
I know personally I feel 10 times better playing against West Side than I do against anybody else. It's something that you can feel in yourself, but you would only feel it if you're on the court.
As soon as the game's over, though, a lot of it's forgotten. And everybody goes back to being family and friends, and it's just an amazing thing to be a part of.
So since we attended events, and in addition to that, we also captured the events as you just saw. Next, Sam will talk about the model that guided the rest of the objectives.
So when thinking about brand promotion, we knew that we needed a really strong media mix. And when I say that, I mean that we needed to utilize a combination of communication channels to meet all of our objectives. So these communication channels typically include billboards, newspapers, websites. And we decided to rely on the PESO model, and this is a strategy that integrates paid, shared, earned, and owned media. And each of these media types have a different purpose. So paid and shared media, they're intended to grab the attention of our target audience. Earned media is for credibility, and owned media turns prospects into paying customers. So with that in mind, through the rest of our objectives, we're going to be referencing the PESO model, and there will be this model that's in the center will be on the bottom left-hand side, and it will indicate which media type is being discussed. I do want to point out, though, before we get started, we are going to go a little bit out of order. So it won't be starting with the P, however, we will go through all of the letters.
So this is the own portion. So the first part was to create promotional materials that position Pineville as a friendly, welcoming place for outdoor adventurers and nature lovers. So through this, we created promotional materials both last semester and this semester, but this semester we created two particular ones. So the first was a rat card. And the rat card was intended to go to most welcome centers in West Virginia. So the first part, so the left side will be the front and the right side will be the back. So the front showcases 3 pictures. We wanted to implement kind of what makes Pineville home and what will draw people into the community. So the first picture is a family picture because based on the research, it was a lot of friendly, safe, welcoming, and we wanted to showcase that. The second picture is a fly fisherman for the outdoor enthusiast audience. And the third picture, of course, we would use the ATV audience because the Pinnacle Creek Trailhead is a staple in the community. So we wanted to showcase that. And then in addition, the logo, slogan, and the website URL is all visible on the front. On the back, we wanted to showcase the assets that Pineville has that makes it unique. So we put the attractions, where to eat, and where to stay. In addition, we also added a map, which has the state outline, and then Wyoming County is actually darker. And in that darker section, Pineville is starred, so people know exactly where it's located, exactly where it's at in the state, and they can easily come to Pineville. So this is a map of the welcome centers. So this is where the rat cards can be distributed. The blue A's are the target audiences, and the lines are the roads they would travel to come to Pineville. The green arrows, or location markers, are the welcome centers that these rat cards could be in. So the process to get these rat cards involved was you send 2 copies to the West Virginia Tourism Office, and then they have to approve the design before you can even put them in the welcome center. So we got the design approved, and then we had them sent out to be printed. And even though this is owned media, since we are not paying to place them in the welcome centers, it's owned media by us. So whenever we send them out to the welcome centers, then we have to send that approval so that they know that they can put them out in their approved design. So, and next, Maddie will talk about the map that she made of downtown Pineville.
So the second promotional material that we decided to do was a map of downtown Pineville. During the research process, one of the main concerns was really like a lack of informational materials in the town and just lack of signs. So we decided to highlight places that would be of interest to tourists, especially ATV riders. So it really highlights places you can eat, where you can get groceries, fill up your gas tank, ATV-friendly repair shops. So there's going to be 2 versions of the map. There's the poster version, which will be featured in the Pinnacle Creek Trailhead shop. And then there's also a printed handout version of the map. This version will be laminated. It's more durable. Riders won't have to worry about it getting wet, getting all muddy. The only difference between the 2 designs is that the handout version has the businesses that are featured on the front of the map. It has just more information on what they have to offer on the back. So say you'd rather stay in a cabin compared to a regular hotel or prefer a certain type of food over the other. Everything you really need to know is on the back of the map. And also, this addresses another concern during the research process of the lack of cell signal. So instead of like trying to Google, where can I stay, where can I eat, everything like riders or tourists would really need to know is just featured on the back of this map.
So in addition to those printed materials, we also developed a web presence. It's really important to us to match Pineville's personality to what we are showing online. So we wanted the digital presence to match the online, or the actual presence of the community. And so our objective was to spend $15,000 of our budget toward developing this website. And we worked with a design company based in Elkins called Little Fish Design Company. And they were able to develop this site. And we actually launched it before the objective date on March 29th. So on the next slide, you'll see this is kind of a screen grab of the homepage of the website. And so when we were designing this website, we were thinking about two audiences. We were thinking about the tourists. And so we had the About Us, the food and lodging, recreation, shopping and services, and events. And those were really to showcase the community's assets in each of those categories. And we wanted to include visually compelling, some of the content that the brand storytelling team created to kind of do that, to showcase the town. And then on the far end, we have the local resources. So we were thinking more about the residents of Pineville. We wanted this website to be useful to them as well. So the local resources tab, as you'll see on the next slide that we have a click through, that kind of showcases a variety of services and contacts that are relevant to Pineville town residents. So on the next slide, this is kind of a screen grab of the website. And as you can see, we have Castle Rock, we have the courthouse. If you scroll down and you click on the food and lodging section, you'll notice right at the top we have a video banner ad. So this was produced by our brand storytelling team. And this is kind of to showcase a bit about, in each of these categories, just to bring it to life a bit. If you scroll down, you'll notice there are business tiles. So in each one of these business tiles, we went business to business. We gathered information like phone number, website, and a Google, their exact address for Google Maps. And you'll also notice there's these local banners. So any businesses that are local in Pineville, we want to encourage tourists to shop locally. So we wanted to indicate and highlight those businesses. If you click on one of the Google Maps, you'll notice it brings up an actual Google Map, so they can go from there and get directions directly to this lodging option. And also, if you click on a website, it leads to the external site directly associated with that business or service. Also, in the recreation tab, we highlighted some activities that tourists could do within Pineville's community. So Guyandotte River, Pinnacle Creek Trailhead, a variety of things like that. Within shopping and services tab, again, there's all these business tiles, and we gathered this information. We went business to business, actually, and we verified the information in person. In addition to this, we have events. So we've highlighted 4 events that are annual that go on in Pineville. And this, if you click join our group, this leads to a Facebook group, which is more, we thought that it'd be better to post the dates and times on social media because we wanted the site to be evergreen, and those dates are kind of changing year to year. So finally, in the local resources tab, this one was, as I said, targeted more towards our target audiences of Pineville residents themselves. So we have a list of local businesses, local resources within the community organized by category. So any resident who's looking for a particular resource in their community can find it pretty easily. And then also there's the government and business tab. And this is showcasing a variety of government bureaucratic agencies within the community that can help the community connect with any resources they need in terms of government things. So in the next slide, you'll see we had 1,100 people visit our website. In addition to that, we had 2,743 page views. So within the website, those are actual clicks on pages within the site. And we have an average time of 2 minutes. So people spent 2 minutes on our website just looking around and browsing. So search engine optimization. When we were working with the web developer, it was really important that we not only had a beautiful and compelling site, but also that people were able to find it, right? So something that we did was search engine optimization. When you Google something, basically Google is presenting results that it thinks are relevant to you as a user. And the way it does that is it reads these meta descriptions of the website. So these exist on the back end of the site. And they describe what is on every page of the website. So when we were designing the site, we wrote particular descriptions that included keywords or search terms that our target audiences would likely search, such as Guyandotte River or Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. And we embedded those in the back end of the website that the user won't see. But if they search something, Google's going to say, oh, this is relevant to this person. So that was a conscious effort on our part. And so in addition to the organic search engine optimization, we wanted to also display Pineville's website at the top of search results through paid content. So this is the first type of paid media, you'll notice. And we did that through Google Ads. So on the next slide, you'll see, as I said before, if I Googled, I'm a student at West Virginia University, I Googled starting a business. The first thing that pops up is an ad from LegalZoom. So LegalZoom had paid for that key term, or the keyword of starting a business. So they would display that advertising to me every time I searched that, right? So that's something we wanted to take advantage of for Pineville. We knew we wanted to develop a list of keywords that our target audiences of ATV riders or outdoor enthusiasts would be searching, and then pay to put our advertisement in front of them and lead them to Pineville's website. And so as you can see, our goal here was to get 300 clicks as a result of this, and we actually exceeded our goal by 49 as of yesterday. And there's two important metrics here. There's impressions. Impressions is how often our ad was seen by people Googling things. And the Pineville page view views, that's after they saw the ad, how often did they click on it and lead to our website. And as you notice, there's a lot of ups and downs here, and part of that was on our end, so we strategically adjusted our ad spending based on what was performing better in terms of keywords and in terms of the actual ad copy. So on the next page, or the next slide, you'll see these are some of our top performing keywords. So Google Ads platform allows you to monitor what keywords are performing better, what people are searching more frequently, and then we can adjust our ad spending to invest a little more money in the top performing keywords. So ATV Trails and ATV Trails West Virginia were our top performing keywords. So when we went in to adjust our ad spending, our daily budget, we spent a little more money on those two because we saw they were resulting in a higher amount of clicks, which is ultimately the metric we measure effectiveness with, because that's an actual click on our website and visiting our site. So another way we adjusted our ad spending was based on the ad copy itself. So at the bottom here, you'll see 3 of our of the ads that we developed for our target audiences. And as I said before, the important metric here is clicks. It's not impressions. So impressions is how often it was shown. And you'll notice this one had 4,900, it was shown 4,900 times, but it only received 72 clicks versus the other one was shown 3,000 times but received 114 clicks. So that third metric, the click-through rate, indicates the clicks versus impressions. So it's basically the effectiveness of the advertisement. So we knew that despite this one was seen by more people, the one in the middle was the more effective advertisement. And we were able to invest a little more in distributing that ad because we knew it was more effective in getting people to visit the site. So in addition to Google Ads, we also used our budget of $10,500 to invest in other types of digital advertising and traditional advertising, which we'll talk about. So the first type was YouTube. So our brand storytelling team produced a variety of videos throughout the semester. So we wanted to use a couple of those videos for YouTube ads. YouTube is owned by Google, so it's the same ad platform that we used for Google Ads. But something we did unique to YouTube was we targeted more geographically. So we knew in our primary research that ATV riders often come from the surrounding states of West Virginia. So when we were purchasing these these YouTube advertisements, we chose those target markets specifically. So on the next page, you'll see this is an advertisement produced by me last semester. And this one is targeted directly towards ATV riders on YouTube.
You've had a blast on the Hatfield-McCoy Trails. But you need a break from the mud drifting, tire spinning, and ATV roller coasters. You need a place to go to refuel, to stock up, and refill your stomach. A comfortable place to hang the helmet and enjoy the evening. You need a place with even more adventure and exploration. A place that will feel like home. Pineville, West Virginia. All trails lead to home.
Pringles. And that advertisement was voiced by Jeff Bogus from the brand storytelling team. And you'll hear his voice throughout a lot of these advertisements. So this next advertisement for YouTube was kind of presented as a juxtaposition to the other ones. The other one was very upbeat and more targeted toward ATV riders. This one we wanted to present sort of a more serene, a more serene vibe to the advertisement. So this one was produced by David Smith, and this is targeted towards nature lovers and ATV and outdoor enthusiasts.
It's a diamond in the rough down here. The fish get large. It's not uncommon to catch a 6 to 8 pound trout. It's very common to catch your typical 10 to 14 inch fish. As an outsider looking in, I really dig it.
You'll be able to see the effectiveness of these advertisements. So impressions, as I said before, is how often our ad was displayed to a YouTube user. Views is actually how often they watched the video up to 30 seconds. So 11,000 people watched our video for at least 30 seconds, maybe all the way through. And that resulted in 65 clicks on Pineville's actual website. So another type of digital advertising we used was Spotify. So Spotify is a music streaming software on mobile devices. And we were able to target based on location as well. So we used the same surrounding states of West Virginia to target our Spotify ads as we did in YouTube. And so this is another Spotify ad. This is also voiced by Jeff Bogus.
You've had a blast on the Hatfield-McCoy trails, but you need a break from the mud drifting, tire spinning, and ATV roller coasters. You need a place to go to refuel, to stock up, and refill your stomach. A comfortable place to hang the helmet and enjoy the evening. You need a place with even more adventure and exploration, a place that will feel like home. Pineville, West Virginia. All trails lead to home.
And so on the next slide, so this is the same metric as impressions, which is ads served, so how frequently our ad was distributed on these mobile devices. And these ads aren't skippable on Spotify, so that means 13,000 people listened to our advertisements. And that resulted in 25 clicks onto our website. And CTR, so CTR, as I said before, measures the effectiveness of the advertisement in terms of ads served versus clicks. And so the last type of digital advertising we did in terms of paid advertising was through Ground Truth. So Ground Truth is a location-based digital advertising company based in New York. We had the opportunity to partner with them. They're a pretty cutting-edge company doing really cool things. So they have access to mobile devices throughout the country based on partnerships with apps. So they have a partnership with WeatherBug and a variety of other apps. And anyone who has those apps on their phone, Ground Truth has access to their location streaming services. So as a team, we developed a list of zip codes throughout the country that are relevant to our ATV rider audience. And using those zip codes, we were able to place banner ads on mobile devices within those zip code regions. So as you can see, based on the end there, impressions, we had 14,000 people see our ads in Pennsylvania, and that resulted in 108 clicks. North Carolina, we had 15,000, resulting in 104. Virginia, 9,000, resulting in 65, and all the way down. And on the next slide, you'll see we did creative A/B testing. So we wanted to see which of these banner ads would perform better to our target audience. So we had 2 types of ads, and we noticed in our analytics that the first ad, the creative A, was performing a lot better. So we invested a little more in distributing that advertisement on mobile devices because it was resulting in more clicks. Cool, and now Jenna will speak a bit about the traditional advertising efforts.
So the coupon page. Traditional paid advertising, to start the process, we did a pretty natural approach. I went with Rob, while the brand story team and Rob were gathering information for the website, kind of introducing myself and also figuring out which businesses would work well for the coupon page. Next, I went down with the team when we did the brand launch, went to each business, presented a coupon package, and in this package it had a letter to the businesses outlining why we're doing the coupon, how Brand Journey is helping, the businesses with their economy and boost tourism. It had the letter, it had a fact sheet, and also it outlined just a form that outlined how to give us their logo and how to give us the offer. So we gathered all that information and had the businesses all signed up. We communicated via email, and then also we had to communicate with the newspapers. So the coupon page is inserted into the Wyoming County Report, the Pineville Independent Herald, the Logan Banner, and the Coal Valley News, and it finalized with a circulation of 9,500. Now Maddie's going to talk about the creative about the coupon page.
So when we begin planning the design for the coupon page, we wanted to be sure that it was utilitarian as well as still visually pleasing. So in the insert, we started with a fact sheet about Pineville. So it really just tells you why it's worth your time to visit, what makes it unique, and what it really has to offer. And then obviously it has the coupon page. So it has the logo, the offer, the expiration date, all nice and clear. And then directly reflected onto the back is the contact information for each business for the coupon that's on the front. And then we ended the packet with just the same map that I discussed earlier of downtown Pineville. So it kind of has everything. The whole insert has everything anyone would need to know that's visiting Pineville and to use these coupons. During this whole process, we really wanted to focus on our local and regional audiences instead of just specifically ATV riders, like a lot of our efforts have already gone towards. This also gives local business owners the opportunity to really be a part of our brand instead of kind of just getting to see everything that's going on. So by the time all these were inserted into the newspapers that Jenna mentioned earlier, it was just under $1,400 of our advertising budget. The next type of traditional advertising that we did was a billboard. So the team last semester collected data from the Hatfield-McCoy Trail Systems about where most of the pass holders live, the annual trail pass holders. So those are outlined up there. So we kind of mapped out their routes down to Pineville and started trying to think strategically where the best place would be to put some of these billboards. So we narrowed it down to like I-68, I-77 for people that are traveling from the south, and then people traveling in-state on US 19. So we do have one billboard finalized, which is really exciting. It's off of US 19 in Summersville, West Virginia. It's about 75 miles northeast of Pineville. So we're gonna have that billboard for 5 months. So between the setup fee and the monthly fee, it's $3,100 of our advertising budget.
So in addition to the paid and traditional and the digital advertising, we also wanted to do earned media. So earned media is any publicity gained through non-paid promotions. So that is basically reaching out to news outlets and trying to get people like reporters to cover the events that we have. So our initial goal was to secure over 300,000 media impressions. So media impressions are basically, for an example, so if you're scrolling through Facebook and you see an ad and you keep scrolling, that's technically an impression because you saw that ad. So it's really any time you interact or you see an ad. So with that, I will go into detail of how we exceeded this initial. So the first strategy was to engage with local and regional media. So that started with creating a media advisory. And this media advisory went out to WVU Today, which then in turn sent it to all state media. With this advisory, it was about the brand launch. So it had who, what, when, where, why, pretty much, and any additional notes that we needed for media. So once that was out, we followed up with a phone pitch, and the phone pitch was before and the day of the event so that we could encourage these reporters to come and cover the brand launch because we really wanted the word to get out. So with that, we ended up getting, the Registered Herald, which is in Beckley. We ended up getting the Independent Herald, the Independent Herald in Pineville, and then 59 News. And this is the coverage that we received from 59 News, and the segment ran the night, the brand launch was the 26th, this ran the 26th. So it happened the night of the event. So it was really exciting to see, and you will see this. Credit goes to 59 News, obviously, and then Regina Gonzalez, who was the reporter there.
WVU Community Branding Initiative team launches a new campaign for the town of Pineville in Wyoming County. 59 News reporter Regina Gonzalez shows us how they're planning to tell Pineville's story and share what the community has to offer.
Local residents, business owners, and children gathered at Pineville Elementary School to witness the final work of how their community will be shared with the world. It is a marketing campaign made specifically for Pineville, created by students and Dr. Rita Callistra from the WVU Community Branding Initiative team, Brand Journey.
We've been working with Pineville for the past 7 months. We formed a Pineville branding committee with some town stakeholders and community members to create a research-based integrated branding plan to help promote tourism opportunities in the town.
In 2018, the American Electric Power Foundation awarded the WVU Reed College of Media a $250,000 educational grant to support Brand Journey so they could work with communities in the Appalachian Power Service area. Pineville was chosen for its strong community and government engagement and its economic development and tourism potential. Once chosen, Callistra and her students were in the town every other week throughout the fall and spring semester to learn about the town and interact with the people who know Pineville best.
We did all of the research with the communities. We did a kickoff event, 3 creative workshops, 2 roundtables, 3 surveys of community members and out-of-market folks.
Now with a logo that idolizes Pineville's small town charm, a slogan that reads, "All trails lead to home," a promotional video, social media, and soon to launch website, the team is hoping to attract ATV riders and those who are looking for some culture and adventure in the mountains. Officials that live and breathe the community they live in, like Mayor Mike Kodak, are thankful for the hard work on an initiative that could change the future of their little town.
They're doing things that would take large amounts of work and money and resources that small towns like we have do not have to form these type services. And with this, it will promote our town and hopefully bring more people in to enjoy what we have.
Reporting in Wyoming County, Regina Gonzalez, 59 News.
And this launch was an introduction to what the team has to offer. The Brand Journey website for Pineville, along with their social and web campaigns, will officially launch in March.
Well, plan.
So with this video, our initial goal was 300,000 media impressions. So as you can see on the next slide, we tripled that number. So we ended up getting 938,760 media impressions from all of the coverage that we got from the brand launch. So keep in mind, this number is just from January until now. This isn't even the entire campaign. So the number you are seeing, the actual total media impressions, is a lot higher. And as you can see, we've had over 1.9 million media impressions for this entire initiative, which is pretty remarkable considering Pineville is a very small town in southern West Virginia, and the possible viewership of 1.9 million people is incredible. Next, Candace will talk about shared media.
Hi. So shared media is user-generated content known as social media. And in this objective, we wanted to the team wanted to increase social media engagement for Pineville's official Facebook page by 15%. Engagement is measured by post clicks, shares, likes, comments, and reactions. And to evaluate this, we took the amount of engagements from this semester from January 7th to April 17, 2019, and compared it to last semester before the team got it over the page. And this resulted in an 80% increase from last semester. And there was also a 37% increase from the brand launch like during the week of the brand launch, there was a 37% increase in followers as well. And this objective, we want to increase, we created a Pineville Instagram account to just engage with the community and its followers and its visitors. And so we created this Instagram account, and we had a goal objective of reaching 150 followers. And we exceeded this number by 41 followers to conclude that we reached 191 followers by posting high quality content, photos of Pineville's nature, local businesses and events. We were able to reach out to influential followers and been able to like interact with them, and they were able to help us exceed this objective. And now I'll hand it over to Rob.
So we worked really hard on developing this digital presence in terms of social media and a website. But we also wanted it was important to us to hand off the torch and kind of keep what we've built going. So we had a couple strategies in doing that. On the next slide, you'll see, so one of the main strategies we had was a social media video guide. So this is something we produced that we handed over to the town manager who's taking over our social media accounts as well as the website. And that video kind of explains good practices for social media on all the channels, as well as tips and kind of the guidelines of the brand in terms of posting. In addition to that, we had a training for the website. So this was a webinar hosted by Little Fish Design Company based in Elkins, and they hosted the video directly with our town manager, or Pineville's town manager, Marissa Moore. Yeah, it is. And in addition to that video training her on the website, we also presented her with a guidebook, which kind of gives her some framework in terms of the brand guide to understand a bit more about what we've created. And the other strategy was to develop a relationship with Pineville's Twitter admin. So we actually haven't been in charge of Pineville's Twitter. That's a Wyoming County resident. So we just wanted to develop a relationship with them to make sure that they're consistent with the branding and digital presence that we've created. And so this is a brief snippet of the social media video that I created. And this is just about Instagram and kind of the good practices around posting on Instagram.
Let's talk about Instagram. Instagram is a fully visual platform that allows us to connect with mostly younger audiences than Facebook. And we can use hashtags and location tags to drive engagement to our posts. Hashtags on Instagram allow us to connect the photo or video that we post with similar posts on Instagram. We've created hashtag PinevilleWV to allow residents and visitors to post about Pineville in a single thread. If you search hashtag PinevilleWV on Instagram, you can see all of the posts that have included that hashtag. So when posting, the more hashtags you use, the more pages your post will show up on, therefore driving more traffic and followers to Pineville's Instagram account. We recommend using hashtag AlmostHeaven in your posts to encourage interaction from the WV Office of Tourism, as well as taking advantage of other popular hashtags on Instagram to reach a wider audience. Hashtags like hashtag travel, hashtag WV, hashtag tourism, hashtag wild and wonderful, hashtag PinevilleWV, hashtag visit Pineville are great to use. The social media photo library provided by our team will be really useful in posting high-quality images that grab the attention of users. Attractive images help posts stick out from others on the timeline. Again, don't forget to credit our photographers. Instagram's a visual platform, so when crediting photographers, we recommend using the camera emoji, the photographer's first and last name, / brand journey. Let's talk briefly about the insights that Instagram provides, so you can create the best posts for your audience. If you click View Insights at the bottom of a post, you'll be able to see all of the likes, comments, and shares that the post receives. Like Facebook, Instagram tells you a post's reach, that is, how many people have seen it, and post actions, in this case, how often people visited Pineville's.
So we reached this objective in a lot of various ways, made face filters, letterheads, engaged with a lot of community members in the process, so they could really tell their story in different ways about Pineville. So the first thing we did, this was back for the rivalry game. I worked with the brand storytelling team to make these filters. We placed them geographically over Wyoming East High School the day of the rivalry game. That's me. So it really helped boost community pride. We're trying to target a younger audience with this one, but it's just in a more playful way, and really anyone, any age could have used it.
So I just want to say what really makes me nervous is the microphone. I finally just figured that out. So we also really wanted to connect with the community, so we did an audiogram which showcased community members' photos and also their voice to just have residents really tell their story. We had 2 locations, one at the courthouse and one at the Wyoming East High School, to really get a variation with generations and really hear everybody's stories. So here's an example. This audiogram was made by Caitlin Cuomo.
Well, June, I guess we're going to talk about growing up here. And I have some super stories about growing up in Pineville. When I was a little girl, down on Main Street, there was a drugstore. It was owned by Doc Holloway, and he was a pharmacist, not a doctor. But it was the neatest place to go. They had the old-fashioned soda fountain with the milkshakes and booths set up, but you could sit at the counter and drink your milkshake. And when we were little, it was a safe place to grow up. So we used to go to town when we were 6 or 7, and they had a magazine rack with all the new comic books. Now, the owner of the drugstore was my neighbor, and he knew we were under that magazine rack. We read every comic book without buying it. The teenagers would sit on the courthouse wall and just visit with each other. They weren't doing anything bad, but most of the boys had long hair at that time, and people were wearing peace symbols, and I only sat on the wall once, and my dad happened to drive by. I never got to sit on the wall again. The Cruz family in Pineville had a general store, and it's where I got my first penny loafers. It's where Mother bought her groceries. My dad bought tools from them. They delivered diapers to new mothers. It was just great. And one time in grade school, I took all my friends there, and we had a charge account. I didn't have permission to use it, but I let all my friends get candy out of the candy counter, and we put it on my mom and dad's bill. I never did that again. It was a one-shot deal.
I think that's one of the most heartwarming videos in this whole presentation. I just love it. So another strategy for increasing community engagement, well, 2 more strategies, was partnering with local businesses and organizations, as well as collaborating with town and government officials. So the first strategy was collaborating with businesses and organizations such as the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System, which we found to contact Jeff Lusk to try and help us implement the maps and the trailheads around the Hatfield-McCoy Trail System. We also partnered with the Wyoming County Economic Development Authority, which Christy really helped us with. And in addition to that, we collaborated with town and government officials. So Marissa, the town manager, as Rob had mentioned before, she received, so basically when we leave, we will be handing off the website and the social media platforms to Pineville. So with that being said, we needed someone to take it over. So Marissa is the one that got the training for doing that. And she was trained directly by the web developer through a webinar, as well as Carly Smith, who I don't know where she's at. Oh, back there. She went down to Pineville this past Thursday, and she was there with her to help her guide her through the social media guide as well. And Rob helped out with a lot of that. In addition, for the sustainability of the brand, Maddie back here made letterheads and envelopes. So the supplies will be given to the community, and they will be able to use these to ensure that they have proper letterhead with proper branding, and so that they can keep this long term. In addition, so the 15% increase was really exceeded in the attendance category. So as you know, the community kickoff, it was last semester, and it was a Thursday evening, and the hurricane was coming and the football game got moved. So that kind of Wasn't a great plan for us, but ended up working out well. And then for the community roundtables, we had 25 and 24 in attendance, which was good. But the brand launch was what really exceeded our expectations. We even had to get more tables because we had so many people, and we had people lined up at the door, and it was an amazing experience to see the community rallying behind and seeing what we all had made. So with all of this, from 17 to 25 to 24 to 100, we got to see a 488% increase in attendance, and it was absolutely remarkable seeing that our efforts actually paid off and that we were helping increase community engagement. And now Sam will talk about phase 3.
So with phase 3, continuing this brand implementation and adoption was really important to us, and we really wanted to make brand sustainability a priority, as you could see through a lot of the efforts that we've done this semester. So in addition to that, we've drafted 6 additional objectives for the community to carry out by May of 2020. So first, we hope that they continue to increase brand awareness as well as increase Pineville business visits and purchases. We also suggest that they utilize writing feature stories. This will give them the opportunity to expand their target audience as well as continue to inform people of what they have to offer. We also hope to see them implement additional promotional materials, specifically in public spaces. So here you can see that we have designed, well, Maddie has designed these street flags. There's a graphic that shows what it would look like when it's implemented in town. Additionally, we think that hosting community pride events, such as a community cleanup, would be great, not just to boost that community pride, but to also continue to earn positive media coverage. And to help with this process, we've provided some resources. So we already drafted a community event profile, just so the community knows what it's like, what the event entails, and a sample schedule of how it could run. So our last 2 objectives for phase 3 have to do with our digital presence that we worked really hard to create this semester. So we would like to see them maintain Pineville's Instagram and Facebook and to continue to increase those engagements. And that training is really important to this objective. We also hope that they manage and update their website in a timely manner. And this is really important because this is where a lot of the tourists are going to go when looking for information. So it's important that we keep that up to date and accurate for them. So with that being said, we're just going to transition into the budget for a minute just so that you can see where different money was spent. So in the bottom, you see that our website and social media efforts took up a good amount of the budget, as well as Pineville promotional products and our advertisements. I want to point out the percent of our budget that was used for travel. And this just shows how often we were in the community and really immersing ourselves in the culture. So it wasn't this distant communication, but we were always there working face-to-face with these community members. So what does this all mean for Pineville? So over the last 9 months, we've had it might even be longer than that now, definitely longer than that. We've had the opportunity to create a brand identity and to create a digital presence. We've also been able to earn a lot of positive media coverage. And this has helped us to redefine how others look at Pineville. So now they see it for all of its assets and all of its strengths that we've been promoting. And we hope that with continued brand adoption and implementation and the community taking over and working towards these last few objectives, that we'll continue to see an increase in tourism and in the long term a boost in economic development. So before we conclude our presentation, we just want to take a minute to say thank you and just give a little insight on our educational experience.
So hi everyone, and I just wanted to thank you, Jerry, for allowing the American Electric Power Foundation to fund this entire project. It has been an amazing educational experience. And I am from a small town in West Virginia. I'm from Wetzel County, if anyone knows the layout of West Virginia. And it's very tiny, it's similar to Pineville. In the entire process, I've worked with Brand Journey last semester and this semester, and I've just wished that my town could have what Pineville has right now. I've always, ever since, I want to go home and rebrand it myself, kind of. But it has been an amazing experience seeing the journey of Pineville and seeing how much the community is engaged now, and just seeing how just the community is involved. And it's just amazing to see that what a great group of people that is involved and dedicated can do to a community, especially a small town community in West Virginia, where we're stereotyped over everything and a lot of the coverage is negative. especially with Southern West Virginia and the opioid epidemic. And it's just nice to see a positive light in Southern West Virginia. And I hope that Pineville becomes a legacy in our story of a state. And I hope that it creates change for all the communities in West Virginia, and that it kind of gives a light to smaller towns in West Virginia, that we're not all rural hicks, and like we're people and we have great communities, and I really hope that showcases. So thank you for welcoming us and having us in your community, and it was a pleasure being there, and it's like my second home now, and I will always feel welcome going there, so thank you.
I just want to say to, man, I never saw that picture. That's great. That was a fun day. I just want to tell you, too, that I don't want them to undersell themselves with the website as well, because we worked hard on that, all of us together, especially Rob, because we hired the web designer to put it together, okay? Rob picked out the themes. The flip card design, we gathered all of the content, wrote all of the content, edited all of the content, wrote the meta descriptions, put all the pictures together. He had great communication with Greg, so I don't want you to sell yourself short. Also, I want to tell you, too, that in addition to this, the students blogged on the Brand Journey Medium blog and became certified, and you saw a lot of digital media up there. We kind of learned all that together. So they became Hootsuite certified. They're social marketing platform certified, Google AdWords and Google Analytics certified. So there's a lot of certifications that we did for this as well, because my goal is that not only they get something out of this experience, that they're going to blow people away when they come out here to compete on the job market. I tell them it's not about a diploma. What do you have to offer? And their portfolios are just going to, you know, they can go in, hand over the campaign book, their portfolio, drop the mic, and leave. So because they're going to get a job. So I want to thank everyone for attending, but Mayor Mike Kodak said he has a few words.
That we've had with town of Pineville is just extraordinary. What they've done for our town will last for years. We intend on embracing it and enhancing it. And what our town council did, and this will be displayed in our city hall for as long as I'm there for sure, is we have a plaque made, and our town council has voted and made a proclamation that everyone involved in the brand journey will always be honorary citizens of the town of Pineville. You're welcome.
I'm going to cry. I wasn't expecting that.
So anytime that you all are anywhere near Pineville, stop in. One day you'll be able to show your kids, grandkids, that you're a member of our town and always will be. We appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. You're the best. Just one more thing, too. You have no idea, like, what this community's like. Seriously. A large part of our success are the people in it. And Christy has communicated with us at least weekly. Okay, since August, well before, probably July 2018, Mayor Kodak, I was worried about having a mayor on the Pineville Branding Committee because I didn't want politics to come into play and people to feel like they couldn't voice their opinions. Well, that changed when I met Mayor Kodak, and he's so supportive, and you could not ask for better support. And without that, we couldn't have done any of this. Rachel is a model citizen. Rachel Cook back there, she attended everything, got everyone. She was so upbeat and happy. Her kids came to our round tables. It was just amazing. It was great, and they're featured in. I mean, they came to our house. The school called her because our creeper photographers were outside the school taking pictures. So it was great. David almost got us arrested. Thanks. That's okay. It was good stuff. But it was wonderful. But I'd also like to recognize WVU President Gordon Gee is here as well. I didn't even see you sneak in, so thank you for attending. And Christy, I don't want to call on you. Do you want to say anything?
I get very emotional at these things, and I got very emotional last semester whenever this happened. But just thank you again, Jerry and the AEP Foundation, for allowing this to happen. Thank you to the Reed College of Media, Dr. Callistra, David Smith, the students. As I always say, the students being involved in any type of project like this is very near and dear to my heart for that to happen. And just what they have done for our community, as I've said in a lot of these videos, is just being above and beyond anything that we ever could have expected. What they have done is just been outstanding and amazing, and will have a lasting impact on our community, on us personally. And just thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate it.
And I will tell you right now, they're already brand ambassadors, and they're going to sustain the brand because they have on Pineville maroon and Pineville green. All right, so thank you again for coming. I'm sure there's more food out there. And I do invite you to take a look at all the posters. These are all created by our team. We'll take them down to Pineville. Several businesses want them displayed down there. Their tourism season's already started. ATV riders like to go down there. We have some shirts. You can take a look at everything back there. There's the big poster of the map, so take a look. And we also have, David, where's that face filter? You can scan the QR code, and you can get into one of the face filters. It's pretty cool. We were driving on is it the four-wheeler one? Okay, that's what I call it. So check it out. Thank you.
Tear me up, Kodak.